you beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Pathway to Understanding, where I'm just a millennial trying to make sense of myself and helping others to make sense of themselves. One conversation at a time. But today's episode, before we get into it, I have something to ask. Have you ever had one of those moments where something comes out of your own mouth and you're just sitting there like, damn? Yeah. Because a few weeks ago, I had mine and it stopped me in my tracks. And it wasn't planned, not because it was something profound, but it just kind of escaped. And I was like, I realized like I haven't I haven't relaxed myself in years. And when I heard it, when I realized, I'm not exaggerating. Like, I mean it. Like, not that I need a vacation, not I've been stressed lately. I mean, like, I genuinely don't remember what it feels like to live inside my own body without constantly bracing for the next thing, always preparing for the next thing. Like, and I know I'm not the only one. So, come on in, grab your emotional support snacks, your drink, your cup, your blanket, and grab a seat because we got to talk. When I think about like what it even means to relaxing yourself, like we talk about relaxation like it's something to do, like take a bath or go get a massage, go on a vacation, sleep in, take PTO, drink wine, book the flight. But what nobody's really talking about is you can be lying on that beach and your nervous system still thinks, what the fuck? We're in danger. Like your body doesn't care that you're on vacation. It never gets the memo that you get to feel safe because relaxing in yourself is different than relaxing around your circumstances. And knowing that one is external and the other is internal, because I've had weekends with absolutely nothing on my calendar and still caught myself mentally writing to-do lists, checking it twice, planning the next week, thinking about clients, thinking about business, thinking about content, thinking about money, thinking about whether I'm doing enough in my relationships, in platonic, romantic, friendships, sisterhood, all of that. But I mean, the reality of it is my body might be resting, but my mind never clocked out. So there is no peace. And that's just like survival in athleisure wear. And I go back and forth with like, ooh, am I in survival mode or am I out? It's like I'm double dutching. But the reality of it is I am. I am out of that survival, but my body is having to catch up. It's like my mind is having to catch up. And so, yeah, what the hell does it even mean to relax in your own body? So, then it brought me to like the generation that never sat down. And honestly, I don't even think it's just a me thing. I really think it's a millennial thing. We grew up hearing the things like you've got time to learn, you've got time to clean, hustle, be productive, don't waste time. Go get the degree, go do the things. You can pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Success is earned. Like, don't waste time. We've learned that our value is tied to what we produced, how helpful we are, how available we are, how much we could carry. So now, even when nobody is asking us to perform, we're still performing for ourselves, for imaginary expectations, for people who aren't even in the room. We've become human doings instead of human beings, and being able to just sit and rest in being present. We are so far from that, and that is just, it makes me sad. It makes me sad. It makes my body sad. It makes these clients sad. Like, and even in thinking of in this season, in being the therapist who still has to learn this. Because here's the part that always makes people laugh. Because, yes, I am the therapist. I literally help people regulate their nervous systems. I teach boundaries. I talk about burnout. I encourage rest. And then I catch myself answering emails at 9 o'clock at night, creating another project because I've had a free evening, feeling guilty for watching 2 episodes of a show, thinking, ooh, I probably should be doing something productive. Like, that's crazy. Like, knowing something and embodying something are two completely different journeys. And in this journey of me embodying the things that I've been teaching and preaching for years, and to be able to live it. And as I transform, even in my therapeutic world, and honestly just wanting my life to be more holistic, and I am doing the things that I am telling people to do. Like, I am helping to provide a healing space, and I want to create healing spaces for myself, because healing isn't information, it is practice. And practice doesn't make perfect, it makes progress, it makes consistency, it makes change and growth over time. And so just being able to embody those things consistently, because I have surpassed, oh, I can go get a massage and oh, just takes my worries away. Oh, no, ma'am. No, no, no. I have a friend and they have said, so tired. I'm feeling it in my soul. I'm feeling it in my bones. And sometimes you have to sit down and literally turn your mind off and do nothing. And for me, that boils back down to boundaries. And this is why vacations don't fix everything. Because I have realized that vacations don't magically create rest. And sometimes they don't even remove responsibilities. Because if you're anything like me, I need a plan. I need some options. I need to know what I'm getting myself into. And so sometimes just even, oh, I'm going to take this vacation. And there are different types of vacations I have learned, because you can go on a vacation and it is adventure. We're ripping and running. We hitting the streets, and you can go on a vacation and we laid out on this beach sipping Mama Wana in DR, you know? Like, sometimes a vacation just removes the responsibilities. But if the nervous system has spent years believing that slowing down isn't safe, then we're going to take that same nervous system to Aruba, to Iceland. I'll be there. This place, yes, I'm so excited. To Italy, to wherever, really, you know? Like, you'll still wake up checking your phone, you're still going to feel guilty, you're still going to wonder what you're forgetting, because peace isn't the destination, it's the relationship with yourself. And relationships take practice. And I know for the relationship with myself, we showing up. Okay, I am dibbling and dabbling into all of the crafts and things that I didn't even know that I liked before. You know, as a kid, I didn't color much, but baby, I have over 400, 500 markers. Okay, and yes, all of the colors are necessary. Yes, when it comes to books, I I have set a goal to read 100 books this year. And this isn't my first year where I've set this goal, but it's my first year that I'm probably going to hit this goal. And it's so interesting because what I've realized is when I was hitting the goal before, it was more so like, oh, I have to get this done. And like, there's this pressure. I mean, I had my clients reading books with me, with them. We were locked in, okay? And honestly, this year when I set this goal, I have been reading books and enjoying them, remembering them. I have been reading different genres that I have not dibbled and dabbled in before. And a hard no for me used to be romance. You could not sit me down and get me to read a romance. Baby, I'm even reading romance, okay? And your girl has finished 72 books. 72 books, right? And we are closing out at half of the year, okay? And so I'm super excited about that. But to me, that just says like when you take that pressure off of yourself, when you have a different goal in mind. Instead of, oh, I need to read these 100 books, it's became more, okay, well, let me see if I can read 100 books, but let me really read books that I enjoy. Let me find some new things. And even learning that I am a mood reader and actually finding books that are quirky, that are like a bit out there, that are more of my genre, and really expanding because I love me some James Patterson. I love me some Frida. But there are so many authors out there, and in particularly black authors. Like, it's like shame on me. Shame on me that I didn't know. And even now, as I am on Book Talk, I am looking at all of these book recommendations, and like people are recommending the same things, and there are so many amazing authors out there, and that don't get, the credit that they need. So that is always interesting to see. But again, just going back to this relationship with yourself and honestly really being in a space where you got to dig. You got to dig, you got to do things, you got to explore what you like and what you don't like because you don't know. You don't know until you get in the thick of it. And in this world where we're in the thick of it, I mean, why not? Why not date yourself? Okay. Even if there is someone else, date yourself in this season because you can't go wrong. And if it's something you don't like, well, now you know. Now you know you don't like that and you can pivot and do something else with your time. Which brings me into in thinking about my relationship to rest, and how my nervous system even has kind of correlated stillness as the enemy, but it isn't. Like, I just wonder how many of us actually are afraid of stillness, afraid of that quiet. Like, not because we hate relaxing, but because the stillness gets loud. Because that's when my grief shows up. That's when loneliness taps on the shoulder. That's when the questions you've been outrunning finally catch up to you. Like, who am I when nobody needs me? Who am I when I am not fixing something? Who am I when I am not producing? That shit is uncomfortable. And if you're anything like me, who you are when you are not needed, when you are not fixing, when you are not producing, was at one point my identity. I come from a family where there were 5 of us in the house. I'm the oldest. And our parents, they were young parents and they too had some healing, still have some healing to do. And 5 strong personalities. And, when my parents divorced, I became the fixer, the doer, the producer for my siblings. And that shit was rough. It impacted my relationships with them. And we're recovering. We're recovering honestly, and it's a beautiful thing. And in this season, my mantra has been like, I got to sit on my hands. And even in my spiritual work and my ancestors, they be real active, okay? Let me tell you. And in situations, in particular with my siblings, I'm ready to jump in. I'm ready to fix it. I'm ready to solve it. And in this season, I've been like, okay, we cannot. And what is so interesting is that there was a situation with one of my siblings, and like, man, I'm like, okay, I can fix this if I do this, this, and this. And like, I swear my ancestor said, bitch, I wish you would. And I said, ooh, okay. Okay. All right. You ain't gotta talk to me like that, but all right, okay. I do get it, and sit on my hands, got it. And that's what I did. That's what I did. Because it gets uncomfortable when you realize that people needed you for what you could do for them. And in this relationship that I am in now, where the first relationship of my life, where I don't have to perform, where who I am as I am is enough, and they genuinely want me to be better, better than I was yesterday, and better than they found me. And I ain't mad at it, because sometimes that busyness protects us from ourselves. And while that busyness can feel productive, it can also become avoidance dressed up as ambition, where we are always doing, always being, always on the go, but we're not dealing with the things. And so the moment that I took the step back to really sit with myself, have my own thoughts, just time alone, I started to hear, okay. I started to check in. I started to feel myself relax. I started to freaking exhale. And like that movie, Waiting to Exhale, like going through life, realizing that we don't even take full breaths on our day to day, we got to get our shit together. And I do mean we have to get our stuff together. So being able to learn to trust the peace. And I've just been trying something different, not mastering it, but just practicing it. Sitting outside without my phone, like when I walk my dog, like, or if I go out into my little oasis and sit on the hammock and get my vitamin D, listening to my books, honestly, versus just diving into a doing thing, leaving some empty space on my calendar and knowing that I don't have to fill it with anything. And if I do fill it with something, my crafts I've noticed are like mindless things. And so I've really enjoyed coloring, where color by numbers, paint by numbers, where I can just be in the space, versus that urge to fill it. I've become more conscientious of even my calendar and not plugging the holes just because somebody asked. And honestly, those different shifts, I mean, sometimes it does feel a little awkward because, again, I'm like, yes, let's do this. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I can see you here. Yes, I can. Yeah. But then some days, I mean, it's nice. And we learning to sit in that nice. Like, because often my body has like felt when it is not doing anything, like it's suspicious. Like we need to be doing something. But it's like unlearning that my body keeps waiting for someone to tell me like I forgot something. But little by little, I'm teaching myself that peace doesn't have to be earned. Peace does not have to be earned. And that rest isn't a reward for exhaustion. And that I don't have to prove that I deserve this quiet life. Maybe healing isn't becoming someone new. Maybe healing is just convincing my nervous system that home finally exists inside of me. Because I've been trying to get home to myself for a long time. So, before I end today's little chitty chat, I just want to leave you with the same question I've been asking myself lately. When was the last time you felt relaxed in yourself? Not distracted, not entertained, not asleep, not on vacation, not scrolling, not escaping, but genuinely like comfortable with in your own mind, in your own body. Like if you can't remember, listen, you're not alone and no judgment because neither could I. And maybe that's where the healing starts, not by becoming more productive and adding things, not by fixing ourselves like one more time, like, oh, if I do this program, if I read this book, like, but maybe just by learning. Like, we're allowed to feel safe in our own presence and being able to just slow down and sit in that stillness. But, hey, who am I? So thanks for hanging out with me today on the couch. Until next time, keep finding your pathway to understanding. I'll see you next week on the couch.